fetus, Phoebus. Off we go.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Fixture list. Stephen Howson.
Ronaldo Brown, how are we doing? Oh wait, I'm not Ronaldo Brown. I was replaced last week and I'm back now, aren't I?
With a quickness, you was replaced.
Back with a quickness as well though. Why did I get replaced? Couldn't make it. Disappointing.
Because you got bagged by track and trace by not going out of your house. That, Joseph, is impressive.
It is, isn't it? I think it was someone who worked at a bar that I went to about over 2 weeks ago. They got it even when they weren't on shift. Because I saw the next day, they put on their Instagram story, someone who's worked for us got COVID, but they weren't working yesterday, still got it. So I didn't get anything, no symptoms, no nothing.
I honestly think that there was a big, I don't want to get into conspiracy stuff now, Ronaldo's not here, but like there's a big sort of like, I knew so many people who got bagged last week, loads.
Yeah, I reckon there might have been a mistake in the machinery. But anyway, I'm back now, I'm fine, never touched me. I had both my vaccines. What are we talking about?
And ironically, Ronaldo's currently bagged because his mum's got it.
Well, there you go.
Get well soon, Mrs. Brown.
Yes.
But yeah.
What are we talking about today?
Euros.
Yeah. Are you loving it?
Oh,
come on.
I mean, I'm watching all the games. Missed the first half of Germany, France.
You didn't miss much.
Yeah, I missed the goal.
Yeah.
I'm watching all the games, but it's opening games. There's all opening games, jitters and nerves. I think game 2, game 3 is where you really start to see the rubber meet the road.
Favourite game so far? For me, there's one answer.
Does it involve the Netherlands?
Yes, Netherlands-Ukraine.
And the Ukraine.
Sensational game.
Yeah, that was no opening game jitters.
No.
That was Savit.
Yeah, that was brilliant. 2-0 up, back to 2-2.
Crazy goals.
Brilliant goals, back and forth. The first 20 minutes was like just free-flowing ping-pong football. I'm really enjoying it. And now we're getting into the meat, that second round when people start thinking, if we don't win this, we might be out.
These next 2 games, and then obviously the knockouts, that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
This is the entree to the main event.
This is the bloke coming around with the little salmon.
And I'm gonna eat them all.
Oh, I'm gonna have a few.
I'm having them all. And people are like, you'll get full up. No, I won't.
No, I won't.
No. And I'll keep munching them. I'm not got any more of them little bit of pastry on. No? All right, cool.
But you want the duck in orange sauce.
I'm here for the meat.
Yeah.
Bring me the meat.
What we got coming up?
So, we're still on the appetizers, but we're talking top tier appetizers coming through. Now, we have got Denmark versus Belgium.
Decent looking game.
Could be. Denmark are in trouble a little bit, losing the opening game in awful circumstances. Does look like Christian Eriksen is seemingly communicating now from his hospital bed and stuff like that, so that's obviously a bonus.
Yeah.
Belgium looked sensational in the opening game. Lukaku looking sensational in the opening game. A lot of people, I mean, you can't even call them a dark horse. They're just a good team who could win it. Levered Russia.
Yeah.
I think they could go the same way again against Denmark.
Yeah, I mean, even if they had Christian Eriksen, Belgium would be massive favourites. But not to mention, they lost that game in looking like pretty, obviously difficult circumstances with what happened on the pitch. But they were kind of told, if you don't play this now, you have to play it tomorrow, or you've lost 3 points. So they weren't exactly given the most compassionate of options there, despite what had been
Do you know what?
arguably the worst thing I've ever seen on
Saying fuck
telly.
you and not playing might have been the best move.
Yeah, maybe. Because the fallout would have obviously shown UEFA in such a bad light, but
It would have done, yeah.
Yeah.
Because all of that would have then just gone onto UEFA and been like, because they go, they said we either had to just play in 24 hours or we'd lose the game, and we chose to lose the game because obviously this is more important. It'd been really interesting to see how they went down with that.
But yeah, I think Belgium will probably win that game anyway. I think there's extra pressure on Denmark now because they lost that first game, so they have to get at least a point, because 3 points might not be enough to get you through even if they win their last game. I think Belgium will win that one.
I think you're right. You've got Croatia, Czech Republic. Very likely to be the other teams that go through in the old. If Czech Republic get a result, I mean, top of the group, could have been comfortably getting through there, and it might not be the worst result for England if they do.
Well, Croatia may well finish bottom of the group. Possible. Depends how they go, obviously, against Scotland in their last game. But yeah, it's not a great... I mean, it was always going to be difficult them playing England first, because even though we're not that good, we're quite good. So yeah, they have to turn that around now as well.
So yeah, Czech Republic 2-0 up after, a bit of a wonder goal from Schick as well.
Oh yeah.
It's one of those, I guess. And my note says, with one from his own half. Wasn't his own half?
No, it was just inside the opposition half. 48.9 metres something. The longest ever range goal in Euros history.
Who did I see? Stephen A. Smith going nuts on it. You seen it?
Yeah, fantastic.
Halffield. Call it from Halffield.
Yeah. Ain't no way! You should be scoring from there. So good. It was Stephen A. Smith, though, sensational broadcaster. Maybe he's probably like the biggest sports pundit broadcaster in America. And he's branching out to a little bit of football. And you know what? It was from just inside Halffield. And that's why the Euro 2020 is so special, as he said. He hasn't watched a fucking game of it, has he? Bless him. But it's his job and he's good at it.
He is. He ain't got a fucking pot of glue what's going on, though, has he?
We need to.
Some of his takes on MMA and that, because obviously he ventures into that occasion as well. They're fucking as
He's
wild
very
as
good
his soccer
at basketball, at football. He's very good at those two. And then you get paid to talk about some other things as well. Fair enough. I mean, we're talking about horse racing in a bit, so we can't really say
No, we're not. We're asking questions of a guy that knows about horse racing, because we thought horses wore masks.
Yeah, we did. Talk about horse racing, but not for long. Furlongs, ladies and gentlemen. It's a horse thing. They love it. England versus Scotland anyway, Steve. The big one.
And repeat.
Of the war in
Repeat.
1230.
Yeah, the first international ever.
Yeah.
And also of Euro 96. Perhaps the greatest of Euros.
Perhaps. I mean, it ended in absolute heartbreak, so very much the loved and lost, but better than to have loved and lost than never loved at all, isn't it? Got your heart broken in 96, is what I'm trying to say.
Scotland needs some kind of result.
Yeah.
And the old enemy is a great one for them to get it against, I imagine. And I think it'll be one of England's hardest games, because they'll compete and they will fight for everything. That's just how these games are going to go. They know exactly what they need to do. They probably balls up the Czech Republic game thinking about this. I think this is a proper final for them. I think they'd just be happy beating England going home.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, this is the first time they've been in the Euros since Euro 96, isn't it, Scotland?
I think it might be, yeah.
So this is a huge game for them. It's certainly been a very long time. This is a huge game for them. And also, watching them against the Czech Republic, obviously there'll be a bit of extra effort, if that's possible, against Scotland because of the rivalry, because against England, because of all that. But they were 100% effort against Czech Republic. Like, that's just how they play anyway, so don't expect anything less against England. It's, like I said, it's going to be a tough game, that. If we have an off day or Southgate tries to rotate or anything like that, we might, get turned over or certainly drop points.
Yeah, and let's be honest, we struggled creating opportunities against Croatia.
Yeah.
Croatia, I think, are a level above Scotland or two, but we still struggled to create. There wasn't a lot of penetration from England. Is someone like Jack Grealish the key to this? Because Jack Grealish, knowing that the Scottish are likely to come in extremely physical, extremely hard, having an option like a Jack Grealish in the team, weaving into the box to get fucking mullered by someone.
Yeah.
Is that like a real tactic you'd be looking at if you was Gareth Southgate? Especially
later on. Did you see the penalty against Portugal yesterday? Where he just got the wrong side of the defender, and the defender was so keen to get back, he just sort of like ran into him 3 times, and it was a foul. I could see something like that going on, where if we're a goal up, they're going to be so frantic and sort of energised to basically stay in the tournament. I could see someone like Grealish or even Rashford coming on or starting the game and getting a penalty, or really causing problems with fouls and stuff, because, like I said, the energy and the excitement might be a bit too much once you get into that later part of the game. So
just too giddy.
Yeah,
almost. Do you think he's going to change the side from Croatia?
Yeah, I would.
He seemed to allude to the fact that he'd picked the likes of Trippier at left back. More so over tactical reasons, and I'm still not sure what they were, but he seemed to be like, yeah, there was it was deliberate. It wasn't, that's not my best 11. That was deliberate tactical selection. So if he's doing that for Croatia, you would assume he's also got a plan for this game. And the fact they didn't bring Jack Grealish on, surely Jack Grealish has got to go and feature in this.
You'd assume so. And I like Phil Foden, he started well in the last game, but in all honesty, it wasn't his best game against Croatia. I think you could maybe see either Grealish on the left, put Sterling on the right, or find a way to get Rashford in there as well. But yeah, I thought every single time Jack Grealish has played for England, he's been the one that when he has the ball, you go, oh shit, now we're talking. He looks different, he plays different, he's got an extra energy, an extra sort of, and this is just, it's not because he's got a haircut and low shin pads, but he's got a sort of a charisma on the ball that you go, oh, who's that? And it's Jack Grealish almost every time. So I think he's got to start. Maybe he's saving him for the knockout stages, but when you play for England and you're their best player every time you play, you can't be getting dropped and played for, Phil Foden, who's a great talent, but was largely out of the game, I thought, after the first 20 minutes against Croatia. So, yeah, I think we'll see some changes. Also, for what difference it makes, 28 degrees the other day, meant to be around 18 and maybe raining this weekend. So that'll probably suit Scotland a bit more, but also will allow England to press for longer.
Like England aren't in North fucking Europe.
No, I know, but it's not easy to play that pressing style for
like
90
most
minutes
of England,
in 30 degrees.
Like Scotland team doesn't play in fucking England.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, England's style is to press. That's what we tried to do against Croatia, but we couldn't do it because it was too hot.
So Scotland's.
Yeah, but we're better than Scotland. What's your prediction for that?
It could honestly go either way, couldn't it? It could be super tight or 3-0. I'm going 3-0.
I'm going to go for 2-1 England, and I'm expecting a Grealish style. It won't be as good as Gazza's goal, obviously, but the press are going to want to make the England winner compared to that. And I think we might see a little
I think someone
bit
like Jack
trickery.
Grealish is like, I can flick it over his fucking head.
Yeah. I can flick it and volley it.
You see the clip that he put on socials the other day, doing kick-ups and then sticking it top bins? Do that, Jack.
Just do that, but in the game.
Yeah.
Great game, that.
Can you see this England side winning it?
Yeah.
You can picture your eyes.
No. No, I can't actually.
Harry Maguire like that.
But if you think, though, the Euros are different. Greece, Portugal, don't worry about Spain because they were really good. But in the last 15 years...
No, Spain were fucking really good at passing it.
Yeah, but they dominated games, possession-wise. They didn't concede many shots, that kind of thing. Greece and Portugal...
Isaac looked the most dangerous player on the pitch, to be honest.
Potentially. But I think in Euros, you can get away with not being the best team and winning it. In the World Cup, you get found out because the levels are just too high. But Greece won it, obviously. Portugal won it. I think we're going to have to do the thing we haven't done since 1966, which is beat a top team along the way. But I don't think it's impossible that England could win it because it's slightly lower standard.
Which if they win tomorrow, the chances are you're going to face one of the teams which we're playing next, which is Portugal and Germany are facing off this weekend. Germany scored a goal in their own net, though. And Portugal, I mean, Ronaldo was shit and still scored twice.
Yeah, that third goal of his second goal was sensational.
If you're playing against him, he's frustratingly effective.
Well, you just know he's going to score. He's got 106 international goals, most of any European ever. Like, he's the greatest striker in European history by a mile. So
what's hilarious though, Joe, is I remember when he had no end product. Now he's got more end product than any person that's ever fucking lived.
But luckily, we got Tyrone Mings.
How mad is that?
So we'll be all right.
So you got, obviously, Germany played Portugal.
Yeah.
France is the third wheel in that group. Hungary were just like, oh, fuck off, when the group came out. Yeah. It's a hell of a group.
Yeah, incredible.
Who's getting out of that group?
I mean, all three of them.
Really?
Statistically, yeah, because they're all great.
They've got 2/3 of a chance to get out, haven't they? Essentially.
Yeah. So it's like they're probably going to all go through. I'm not exactly sure the criteria of who goes through and who they face if they do go through. Because I was thinking yesterday, could England avoid those teams by finishing third? If we finish third, who do we play?
What a ballsy call that is, though.
Let me know in the comments, because I can't work it out. I've looked up on the internet, I've been on The Athletic, they usually give you like the breakdowns.
I think that is probably just thrown into a fucking hat and then you get to pick. You still go, hey, we pulled a fast one, we've avoided Holland, we've avoided fucking blah de blah. Who do we? Oh no, we've avoided Portugal and France and Germany. Who have we got? Belgium. Fuck!
Yeah. We're not going to get to the final without beating a big team, which is something we struggle to do. But I can see it. I think it's possible. You've got to believe a little bit. What's the point otherwise?
Spain and Poland. Poland actually lost to Slovakia.
Yeah.
And Spain bored the piss out of everyone with a 0-0 win.
I know. I'm not. I'll watch that game, but I'm not looking forward to it. I never like watching Spain play. I don't. It's for the same reason I've never liked watching Guardiola play. I don't care to watch a team I don't support have 75% possession. I just don't care. It's not exciting. Give me Ukraine, Holland versus Spain, Poland any day.
For me, they clearly lacked a maestro in the forward line.
Yeah.
Jordi Alba just seemed to be on the ball every time I looked at the screen. It was just Jordi Alba just moving. Everyone else in the team's like... It reminds me of under-23s football. They're all technically good. Everyone here can fucking pass the ball and control it, and some of them are pretty good with both feet. But there's no fucking character here. There isn't a Jack Grealish. There's not even a fucking Tyrone Mings. There's it's just ready salted crisps all over the place.
Yeah, but like really well done ready salted crisps.
Oh, they'll be like kettle crisps.
These are brilliant.
Kettle
These are homemade as well. Really good, impressive.
Good crunch on them,
But I don't
but
want...
ready salted.
I want fucking barbecue Pringles.
Yeah, or chili heatwave.
Yeah, give me something nuts.
Do you know what else they've done? They've fucked about with Monster Munch.
What? Sorry, this isn't to do with football anymore, is it? This is just Steve's problem.
I think this is a problem for all of us, Joe.
For the nation.
That's why I brought it up in such a prestigious fixture-list show. The texture, I regrettably inform everybody, over about the last 3 months apparently, because I only had I like the Flaming Hot Monster Munch.
Me too.
Fucking reek.
Is it because you look like the fella on the front?
No comment. Now they've got that sort of flaky, crumbly sort of thing. Not anymore, Joe. They're like a smooth, almost skip kind of material.
Oh no.
It's fucked it.
Are you saying that the maze matrix has been compromised?
Big time.
That's really upsetting, isn't it?
They're dog shit.
Oh no. Monster Munch, one of my favourites as well.
They were mega. They did not need fucking with.
No.
If this is some dick's idea to save half a penny a bag, you need to resign, mate, because you'll sell no bags.
No.
None. They're awful.
You know what I blame?
What?
I blame the EU and Brexit. Either way, pick which one you want. If you like it, pick Brexit. If you don't, pick the EU. That's who I blame. I like to cover all my bases. But it's one of their fault, definitely, because they control everything these days.
I'm gutted, Joe.
What are you going to do instead?
Cry.
Frazzle.
Oh, Frazzle's a good maize-based product. It's not a Flaming Hot Monster Munch, though.
You're right, nothing is. What we got next?
Does it matter?
Yeah, it does actually. Well, that's enough for football, I reckon. Is there any horse racing on?
I believe the phrase, Joe, is there's always horse racing on.
Don't get arrested, those little fellas, do they?
No. And I believe it's the big one. Are we going?
Where?
I bought a new frock. Royal
You should see my hat.
Ascot.
I've got a hat.
Darling.
It's got some lilies in it.
Royal Ascot Darling.
It's actually pronounced Ascot.
Is it?
Yeah.
Ascot.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, it does sound a bit posh
Like
that.
biscuit.
Biscuit. Ascot.
Yeah. Are we going?
No.
Why?
No Northerners. Daryl, what's happening with Royal Ascot?
Are we going?
No.
Why?
No Northerners. Daryl, what's happening with Royal Ascot?
How dare the pair of you ask if there's any horse racing on this week?
Big race.
Big one.
One I've heard of.
It's Royal Ascot this week, lads. What a time to be alive. The Euros are on, the sun is shining, and Royal Ascot is on. It's a belter of a meeting every single year. Thursday, big race, Stradivarius in the Gold Cup. He's an odds-on shot. You've got to take him on. He's the age of 7 now. There's got to be something in there that we can get him beat with. I like the look of Subjectivist for Mark Johnson. I think he's got a belting chance in the 4:15. But there is action Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It is a great last few days of Royal Ascot. Don't miss it.
That one that you just mentioned there in the Gold Cup, Stradivarius, is he ridden by Frankie Dettori?
He is, yes, he is. Frankie Dettori, the popular Frankie Dettori. Yeah.
How old's he?
Yeah. I thought he was doing Question of Sport.
He's about, what is he, 55 now, I think?
Minimum.
Minimum, yeah.
How old do jockeys get to?
Well, as old as they like, Sam. You ride out to 60, 62 if you like.
That's absolutely insane, isn't it?
If he falls off, he's going to break his hip.
I know. That's incredible. I thought he'd retired years ago, Frankie Dettori. Yeah. He was like in the 90s.
Yeah.
Wow, impressive.
Fair
I
play.
want him to win just because of that.
So Frankie Dettori's riding, and it says here, trained by John and Thady Gosden. That sounds posh. Thady. And yeah, so that's the favourite. Is it winning it, do you reckon?
Look, he's odds on to win. He's not no value if you're having a bit of a punt on him. Will he win? I hope not, because I'm a little bit bored of him, to be honest. I think a lot of people are now. He's been a great servant, but it's time for him to move on. He's 7 years of age. Him and Frankie Dettori, let's get him beat on Thursday with a subjectivist.
When you said it's time for him to move on, he's been a great servant, I thought you meant Frankie Dettori.
Not a 7-year-old.
Not a 7-year-old. It could be Frankie Dettori's grandson, that horse.
It says here, won at Royal Ascot in each of the last 4 years, so he's got form.
Yeah.
And he's generally considered one of the greatest long-distance racehorses of all time.
Well, it depends who you ask.
At 7?
Yeah, incredible.
Still putting Lego up my nose at 7.
You know horses don't have Lego, do you? The thing is, I'm not going to be... It's won loads. You're not going to be upset if it loses now, are you? You're not going to get your tiny little Stradivarius violin out.
At 7.
Yeah, he's getting on a bit now, bless him.
What's the rest of the big races that everyone's excited for, then, Daryl?
Cool, I'll take your pick, lads. But Saturday looks an absolute belter. A lot of people are going to be spending their cash on Saturday. Diamond Jubilee is the feature race of the day. We've got the young pretender Starman heading the market at 4:20. He's around 11 and 4. He's won 4 of his last 5. He's looked very, very impressive. But then you've got the old guard in there as well. The ones that have been there and done it. Again, another 7-year-old, Dream of Dreams for Sir Michael Stow. He gets loads of longevity out of these horses. He looks a good bit of value at 4-1. Beaten ahead in this race last year and beaten ahead in 2019 as well. This could just be Dream of Dreams this time. But let me give you just one. This is a personal tip of mine. I'm going to do you boys a favour here. Earn you a little bit of cash. 305, the Jersey Stakes, over 7 furlongs. Creative Force for Charlie Appleby. I think this horse is going to be a Group 1 horse in time, no doubt about that. Steps up to 7 furlongs. He's been so impressive. Another horse to win 4 of his last 5 starts. He looks an absolute beast. Creative Force in the 305.
Friday, we've got the Commonwealth Cup and also the Coronation Stakes. Which is the big one out of those?
To be honest with you, they're both cracking races. It's the same every year at Royal Ascot. Every single race is a standalone event on merit. But if you the Coronation Stakes is probably the feature of the day. Mother Earth, the 1,000 guineas winner at Newmarket, heads to market about 7-2. I like Primo Baccio. I think she's put up the best performance by any 3-year-old filly that we've seen this season for Ed Walker. She's improving, and she's a lovely price at around 4-1.
What makes Royal Ascot such a big event?
It's just the highest quality of racing. It's in a world-class setting. The drinks are flowing. The sun is out. The frocks are on, as you two have already picked yours out. And it's just a feel-good atmosphere. I mean, what a time to be alive at the moment. The pubs are open. The sun's out. The Euros are on. Royal Ascot's on. If you're not happy now, lads.
How many fans are allowed?
Yeah, exactly. And we're bringing back crowds to horse racing now. So it's a really exciting time. Finally, after a year of misery, we got things looking up. So, yeah, a good time to be positive.
Right, Daryl, where can people find out more about Ascot and all the races that's happening this weekend, next weekend, every weekend, and more of your work?
Jump on to gg.co.uk. You've got myself, Andrew Mount, who both supply daily columns. We'll have all the tips for Royal Ascot this week. We also do a podcast every single week with Leona Mayer. That's called the GG Weekend Watch, so don't miss that. But gg.co.uk is the place for any horse racing information you need this week.
All right, Daryl, thank you very much. Enjoy the weekend. It's the French Grand Prix.
Yeah, balls to your cheese, anyone. French Grand Prix? Is that not the same as the Monaco Grand Prix then? Or mentioning some sort of political
Monaco
problem?
Is a principality, you see.
Still playing the French league though, don't they? So
that's a good point. Well made. Anyway, so yeah, it's the French Grand Prix, round 7 of Formula 1. The first of 3 Grand Prix in as many weeks.
Wow.
June and July is fantastic for sport, isn't it? Wimbledon soon as well.
Wimbledon, then you got the Olympics starting in July as well.
The Olympics is like a fortnight.
Yeah.
Isn't it nuts?
Amazing.
Carnage for 2 weeks and then nothing for 4 years.
Oh, well, we'll talk more about the Olympics when we get closer, I'm sure, but I'm excited for this. French Grand Prix, you ever been to a Grand Prix?
Yeah, loads.
What?
Loads.
Go on then.
Pull up this picture.
Oh, I didn't think you were going to be fucking 5. I thought you were going to be about 20. I was thinking of like fat jokes I could make calling you like Michael Shoe pastry and stuff, but I didn't. That's actually a nice little picture.
Mega, that, isn't it?
Yeah, that is good. Where's that?
I think it's in England. It might be Silverstone.
Big Ferrari fan?
It's either Silverstone or Brands Hatch. I am a Ferrari fan. Nigel Mansell fan, obviously.
Was that who it was at the time? When's that then? Mid-90s?
I think I was like 6, maybe 90, 91, 92.
Wow, that's good. He won it around that time, didn't
Yeah, we're good.
he? Really cool. That's good, actually. Nice. So you've been to quite a few then. How come?
Well, my uncle was a race truck driver called Stephen Howson, which means we've also got, there's a video on YouTube of Murray Walker saying, and Stephen Howson takes the lead, which is well fucking cool.
Shame we couldn't use that clip when we were doing go-kart, isn't it, Steve?
Yeah. And yeah, I like my motorsport. I just can't afford to like it that much, so watch it from a bit from afar.
It's one of them
I also preferred it in the 90s when there was a lot more overtaking, because it's got a bit trafficy, hasn't it?
Yeah, it was mad, especially like 90s, early 2000s. Although we say that, early 90s maybe, because mid-90s, Schumacher just, what was it, 6 in a row or something ridiculous. So.
Schumacher's like, I take the lead, I win. So.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, went to it quite a lot. My uncle was a truck driver, which is a proper 80s thing, you know, truck racing. The smell of diesel still does it for me, I think.
Is that why you called your dog Diesel, do you think?
Probably
So you can
not
smell him.
what's the word? Not linked coincidence? I don't fucking know.
Something,
something like that.
Probably not something.
Words and that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I spent quite a little bit of time around the pits as a youngster. That, I mean, I can't imagine how much that is nowadays. I think it was fairly reasonably priced. Reasonably priced? Priced.
What, all that gear you were wearing?
No, we was in the pits.
What?
We was walking round the cars.
People getting there now,
the cars,
like KSI and...
Yeah, like the car was... Like, you could touch, not the actual cars, but they had because they was all doing qualifying and stuff and practice laps. So this is like on the Thursday or the Friday, I assume. Not on the actual race day. It was there for the race day. But it was there for like the what do they call it? It's just like getting used to the track, innit? Then they do the qualifying.
Practice 1, practice 2 qualifying.
Yeah. So like the Ferrari carcass, like the fiberglass shell that was just sort of sitting on stands.
Chassis.
You could touch it, which is nuts.
Yeah. The actual one they'd use?
Steve was here and stuff.
Really?
There was like 6 of them just all laid out in case they wrapped up.
Now it's like some sort of pandemic response team, isn't it? Everything's isolated, everything's like vacuum sealed. You can't get in.
It's like NASA's running it.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, like I went and watched plenty of things. Brands at Silverstone. My uncle raced at the Nürburgring. I remember travelling over on a train to Germany to go and watch him do motorsport.
Cool. So
it'd be good if he could actually come and. I wonder if he's got any contacts still. Because he's still a truck driver, but now it's more of the dropping pallets and stuff off rather than ragging it around. I do remember he had a really bad accident. I think it was at Brands Hatch, actually. One of my uncles had took me for a walk because the pits are pretty boring. It goes...
Right, yeah,
that's all you see, and it's such a blur. I mean, they're coming past you. I mean, even big trucks, they're coming past you at some right knots. So we went to one of the corners where they have to slow down a little bit. Is it S's? I think, something like that. And he just rolled right in front of us. Flipping a truck's a bit of a fucker.
Yeah, they weigh about 4 tons. You don't really want to be...
a lot more than that,
you don't want to be upside down in one of them, do you? Was he all right?
I think he broke his arm and his shoulder, but sound.
But not dead,
yeah.
Which is the real outcome.
Just, I mean, what was a 4 or 5 just watching... Because it was Rayner Racing, if anyone was interested. I'll throw some pictures of him up as well, because it was fucking well cool. Being a toddler and seeing all that sort of shit. But yeah, just turned up to one of the corner. Oh, there he is. Oh, there he went.
There he's gone. Why is he sideways? Why is he at this angle going around the corner? Yeah, cool, very good. So, French Grand Prix then?
So yeah, French Grand Prix.
Who's the favourite? Who we got?
I think it's Lewis Hamilton, innit? Let's be honest.
He's been doing well for a few years now, hasn't he? If we're being honest.
Sometimes you need rivalries. And that was what was great about Mansell and stuff like that. Is Mansell and Senna going head to head with a load of stuff. With it this week, we've got Lewis Hamilton, the duel between him and Verstappen, Mercedes and Red Bull.
Decent.
Don't need to ask me, I prefer in that one.
Red Bull, obviously.
And it is the French, Styria, Austria triple header that we're having these 3 weeks. And it's crucial for anyone who's looking to win a title, particularly Mercedes. They're behind above the championship, and they scored a meagre 7 points from the Monaco and Baku street races.
That is poor,
That's what it says on my notes here.
Yeah.
And it's their lowest haul since 2012.
Wow. So yeah, if Lewis Hamilton wants to win, what is it, 5 in his last 6 years, something like that, if he wins it, he needs to get
Red Bull absolutely pissing the Constructors' Championship now by 28 points thanks to Perez winning Azerbaijan. Verstappen's still 4 points clear of Hamilton despite crashing out with a puncture.
Well, it sounds like this is the year you want to get back into it then, because it doesn't look like Hamilton's going to run away with it, certainly not to start with. Like last couple of years, by this point, he's been about 40 points ahead, or maybe not that much, but like oh, they've got the fastest car, he's winning the races,
Yes,
here we
some
go.
interest
But
in
now,
there.
you've got an actual team.
If I had to
proper
pick one,
rivalry
though,
there.
I don't think it would be Formula One that I go and watch. I think I would definitely like to go and check out Le Mans, though.
24 hours, that'd be cool. Although imagine trying to have a nap and it's just dead loud next to you. Be upsetting.
I think what you do is get smashed.
And stay awake for the full 24. Yeah, we'll do that. We should do that next year.
I may or may not have looked into it. It's well cheaper compared to going to Formula One.
Perfect.
Because I think also the track's way bigger in it, I think, as well.
I don't know.
Which means that there's more vantage points, there's more places to watch, there's camping fields, there's all sorts of stuff. But still, for the most part, it's
Yeah, that's it. That's what you
silence. Do you see it?
Well, I suppose with the
Never
24-hour one, because everyone's been going for so long, you probably have like equal
Quite
spacing
spaced
around the track, so it might be alright.
But do you see much overtaking?
No.
Just lapping.
I wonder how
not
often
really.
the driver just falls asleep in that. Probably never, but
It's
it'd be
got to
funny.
have happened.
Fuck.
I mean, when we did a go-karting, it's tiring. We did 20 minutes.
Are you trying to tell me you fell asleep?
No,
when
I
you
didn't
were
fall
going?
asleep. It would be a good excuse, wouldn't it?
It would,
But
yeah.
like, it's tiring.
Yeah,
I
it
can't
is.
imagine the bracing of your body, because they go up to over 200 mile an hour on that big straight. I can't imagine the bracing, just the core that you need to be able to just do that for. I mean, what are they racing? Because they swap over, don't they? There's two drivers that do it.
I don't know how many there are. There's certainly not. There's more than one though.
Yeah, so I know that they're swapping. I think it's two. I mean, what, do you just go, lads, I'm tired, I'm coming in? And then he
guess
just
so.
naps a little bit.
I tell you what's mad as well though. The fact that you can be squeezing all that G-force, tight, everything's locked in, and then occasionally you have to have a shit. And you're trying to go around these corners, slamming the brakes on, whipping it around the corners, and you're doing a poo at the same time. That's skill. None of this worrying about how to get the fastest lap. How do I not go flying off the track when I'm squashing out a dookie? Because it seems almost impossible to me, but we know they do it.
You're going to have done it.
Of course.
Is the nappy part of the...
Oh yeah, it's built in. But the thing is, when you do a shit, it adds extra weight, doesn't it?
No. How would it add extra weight? You
Well, 'cause
stepped
it
in
wa-
there with it.
No,
innit?
'cause it
you
wasn't
had it
there.
You had it in a chamber.
Well, it's just come out and there it is, look, extra weight. So you don't
Oh
want to do a
my
poo. If
God.
you're ever in a car, you're ever doing a Le Mans, anything type of that thing, make sure you don't do a poo because it adds extra weight to the car and it'll slow you down. What's next, Steve?
That's it.
Is it?
That's it for this week, yeah.
Well, what are we doing next week? 'Cause
We
need to get back to
in the
Joe
mix on the
versus
challenge.
Steve. Actually, you know what? I haven't even been on this show properly since the last one. Can we have a little quick talk about you hurting your leg and then I didn't get the win for that?
Okay, yeah, sure. So, we went out to Turnmoss playing field in Stretford,
Yeah.
home of Stretford Paddock FC's training facility.
Right.
By facility, I mean, there's a picture of some nets on it.
Yeah, that's public.
Yeah.
Training facility. Go on then.
Kicking a ball from the halfway line, you got to put a bit of oomph into it, haven't you?
Yeah.
You can't just be knocking them about,
Right.
like you maybe do with a toddler in the street. You got to put a bit of welly into it, right? So, just wanted to go and get me range in. So I put a couple in. Put probably about 20, 25 balls in. It wasn't two, which I think you'd said.
Felt like less than
And then I
25
felt,
at the
oh,
time.
felt something, not rip, but a bit of a pop. Like, not painful, but like it just stretched too far.
Concerning.
Yeah, I was like, should probably stop doing that. So I didn't. And I carried on kicking them. And one more, and it was man down. Hit the deck. That really, 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 really fucking hurt. So then I did the sensible thing of, okay then, if we can't, I'm not going to be able to do the halfway line thing. I'll see if I can do a penalty. Tried to take a penalty, and even just tried to side footage or rather than, because I'm a fucking have it in the bins kind of guy. I tried to side foot it, fucking fully man down again. Like, this really hurt.
I know that
I've
you-
done myself some damage.
You've probably seen it, but we can probably just play the little clip of Steve collapsing after taking that practice penalty. So here's my question. We were there, we were ready to go. This, the competition was about to commence. You pull out. How am I not getting the win for that?
During one of the fighters misses weight in the UFC, and the fight's off.
No.
The fight doesn't happen. You don't get the win.
Hey, you didn't miss weight. We were in the ring. Bruce Buffer was announcing the fighters.
Here's the thing is, we weren't in the ring because the competition hadn't officially begun.
The competition hadn't begun when Bruce Buffer was reading the names out.
Okay. But if you go down then, I don't think it's ever happened, to be fair.
No.
So it's
But let's
unique
say, let's say
circumstances.
then, Man City playing United, and all of the City players pull their hamstring in the warm-up, and they say, we can't play.
Is it not very similar to United Liverpool when the fans got the game thingied? Everyone had arrived in the stadium by then.
No, they hadn't.
Did they?
Not the players hadn't. They never got there.
They did get there. After they cleared all the fans, the players got there and they said, fuck it off anyway.
Okay. Well, you know what? It's your show. I'll let you have it. We're still locked at 2-0. 2-0 to Joe. But we need to come up. What we're doing?
It's either one of these two things.
Okay.
Because Sophie's booked them.
Uh-huh.
I just don't know which way around she's booked them.
Right. What we got?
Play pigeon shooting.
Oh, right. Okay. Why don't we just pick today's challenge is being in the army 10 years ago. Steve might win. How is that fair? What's the next one? Being 6'4".
No. Although...
So Steve's won that, right? So what's happened is Steve's gone and said, let's do some challenges that I can't lose.
No.
Because
Here's
it was
what
my
actually
job,
happened is...
so I can get back in the game.
Today we was meant to be doing axe throwing.
Right.
They cancelled because of the COVID thing.
Right.
So we didn't do the axe throwing. Otherwise, we'd have been doing axe throwing. Don't know about you. Never thrown an axe. So that would have been unique.
If there's anything like darts, you might struggle.
Might try my left hand this time though.
Yeah.
So then we was like, what can we actually do? One of the things we can actually do, because it's outside, is clay pigeon. So we're doing it. So shut up. The next one though, oh, this is gonna be fucking hilarious. It's booked.
Is it?
It's booked.
What is it?
Fencing.
Yes! See, here we go. This is good. Now, I don't know who's got... I've got the range.
Definitely.
I've got the bigger target to hit,
Definitely.
arguably. But you've got more of a sort of inherent violence than me.
I'm also a bit of a risk taker.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, with fencing you only need a think you, and that's a score. You just got to fucking touch them with it. Whereas I think I'd probably take one to give one, which you can do in combat sports.
Yeah, you're going to be like whipping it around. I'm going to be like pointing it like that, trying to spread butter on your chin. And you're going to be like, fucking have this. So we've got them coming up. We've got axe throwing. We've got clay pigeon shooting.
Axe throwing when Boris lets us, I guess.
And we've got fencing. They're going to be fun, aren't they?
Yeah, fencing and clay pigeon we can do because, I mean, I don't know why we're allowed to do fencing, but we are. Maybe it's because we're in the suit.
Imagine, Steve. Just imagine if I beat you at clay pigeon shooting. You might have to walk home.
I might have to shoot you.
Don't do that. That's illegal. Imagine though,
If
that'd be
it's
really
an accident,
upsetting.
it's not.
Is
Accidents
it
happen.
also, let's be honest, let's just get this out of the way. Is it not true that you go to a shooting range quite regularly?
No comment.
You literally have a gun that you keep in like a locker at a shooting range.
Don't want to
That's
answer
like
that
me
question
saying-
on camera.
That's like me having my own bowling ball and like, should we go bowling? So that'll be fun anyway, me getting trounced at clay pigeon shooting, but who can have the most fun? Maybe we have to change what the rules are.
How the fuck can you change the rules?
Let's impress the instructors.
There won't
Well,
be an
now-
instructor. Like, all right, this might weigh in my favour a little bit. I don't need an instructor. I am an instructor.
You know, this is a real show of the character of Stephen Howson. He's 2-0 down
go
on
speak
his
to
own
Sophie.
show. So he's doing stuff, he's an
I
instructor.
booked fencing.
We need to go surfing. That would be funny, watching you just get dragged to sea. See you in France. Right, is that the end of the show?
Yes. Tune in next week for some fucking absolute mayhem.
Can't wait.
I once took a mate up there to go and do a bit of shooting with him. I mean, I haven't been for months, obviously, because of COVID. I took a mate up there and was like, I'll just shoot from the hip. Or try and, because I've never tried this, I'll try and just see if I could hold a shotgun at arm's length. It's pretty hard.
Did he?
It wasn't very accurate.
Did your mate ever come back?
Yeah, he's alive.
Thank fuck for that. I'm going to get one of them. Over the shoulder. That kind of shit, like trick shots under the leg.
To be fair, clay pigeon shooting is quite straightforward. There's not a lot of skill required with it, really.
Already trying to act like it's a level playing field.
Oh, it's quite a point and shoot. There's a bit of a spread to it.
Okay.
Get in the general vicinity, you're going to score.
That'd be good then.
So it'll be interesting. So tune in next week as we're going messing with firearms. Subscribe. Check out gg.com.
Messing.
I'll see you in a bit.